All right, I am doing a review on my FLX Babymaker. This is the first edition Babymaker uh, bike. They produced this bike, I think it was last year, early last year. They came out actually 2 years ago, back in 2020. And the model was actually, it was on back order for a long time. And by the time it got off back order, they came out with a second Babymaker. It's called the Babymaker 2. But this is the Babymaker 1, and I have had this bike for a year, and it's an e-bike. And I'm telling you right now, it is probably the best purchase I've ever made. This bike goes about 20 miles an hour with a charge of about a 40 to 50 mile range. And 20 miles an hour, by the way, is just probably standard, but I've actually gone about 34 miles an hour. I think the top speed was 34 miles an hour on this thing down a hill. It has pedal assist, so that was with the pedals. If you look, you'll see the motor is actually right here, very small, and the battery is in the front bar there. It's right here, so you can't really see it. This is the charging port right here. Takes about an hour and a half to charge it up fully when the battery is dead. But yeah, so and it's only on full charge right now. This is the LED screen, which I'm still getting used to. But as you can see, 2.6 mile hike to work from home, and I got here in about 12 minutes, by the way. And if you adjust here, you'll see how long it took. Actually, it says it took 10 minutes, and that's my full battery indicator. And these little bars right here, it goes from 1 to 5, 1 being the slowest, pedal assist, and crank it all the way up to 5. That's going to give you the maximum pedal assist. It's like Mike Tyson pushing you when you going 5. So you push this button again, and it's going to give you the average miles an hour and the maximum miles per hour that you ran per that day. This bike has 522 miles on it. Again, I've had it for a year, and I don't ride it during the winter time. So I rode it only about six or 7 months last year. Put 522 miles on it, and this is the speed. This is the speed thermometer right here. And again, it goes 20 to 34 miles an hour depending on what level you have it on. I would say 10 to 34 depending on which level you have it on. Now, do note that I do have some mods here. I do have a front light that I got purchased from Amazon. It works very well, and also have a rear light, which you think it's really a part of the bike. It's actually this little buddy right here. Push that button, these lights flash. And they USB port as well. You got the different settings there for the light. But one thing I want to note is that I did change the tires as well. This bike comes with the brown tires and the brown seats, so I did change it to a black comfort seat along with the black Continental gator skin tires. I'm big on aesthetics, so I wanted the best tires in the game because I had a few flats with the factory tires, and I also changed the bullhorn wraps as well to black. That was the only color that they had, but let's also match the gray. So anyway, I hadn't had a flat tire on these. I've been running them since August of last year. I probably rode it three months on these tires. Have not had a flat, and they cost about $120 installed. But again, also the comfort seat, changed the comfort seat to black as well. And it is a comfortable seat. I'm probably going to change it again because I want something a little thinner for the aesthetics. But overall, I am very pleased with the aesthetics of the bike, but I'm more pleased with the performance and the handling of this thing. It feels like you're in a sports car, a very, very light sports car. This bike I don't know how they produced a stealthy looking lightweight bike like this, but it only weighs about 28 pounds. And I can tell you, I'm picking this thing up with one hand. Very, very light. Very, very light. It feels like you're riding on air. This is the Babymaker 1. The Babymaker 2 is out, as I mentioned, and you know, I don't know much about it, but I think the one looks better. I really do. And there's a reason why these things were on back order, because it's one of the stealthiest looking lightweight e-bikes by FLX. One of the most beautiful looking bikes that's out there, and the materials that they put in this thing are just absolutely phenomenal. The engineering went into the frame, and the battery life and the speed, which allows you to go as fast as 34 miles an hour down a hill, as I mentioned. And it just feels like a premium bike. It feels like I paid about $1,500 for this bike, but it feels like you're on a $4,000 or $5,000 bike. I'm trying to tell you, this has been a wonderful experience. Big shout outs to FLX, and check them out on Instagram if you get a chance. They're a wonderful company, and you know, the customer service is great. Anyway, just want to give you all a review of the Babymaker 1 by FLX.